Showcasing once again that Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez stands up for the average worker, regardless of party affiliation. She has just blasted former Democratic Senator Barbara Boxer. So this is over Boxer's opposition to a labor reform bill in California, California Bill AB 5. So this from Vox. The sweeping bill, backed by labor unions, would make it much harder for companies to classify employees as independent contractors, a common practice that has allowed businesses to skirt state and federal labor laws. The law would essentially rewrite the rules of the gig economy, and businesses of all kinds are panicking. It's why Uber, Lyft, Instacart, Postmates, and other well-known gig companies have launched aggressive lobbying and public relations campaigns to defeat the bill. And as a part of that lobbying campaign, former Senator Barbara Boxer is working with the company Lyft as an advisor. And as a part of that job, she wrote this op-ed in the San Francisco Chronicle. Barbara Boxer, AB 5 is not the answer for all workers, arguing that switching to an employee model will mean far fewer opportunities to drive. For many drivers, the lack of flexibility will put driving out of reach completely. And that would be a worry if there was anything in the bill that would change that flexibility. But there isn't. This is just pure fear-mongering from Barbara Boxer. And this is a line, the flexibility line here, that a lot of these companies are using to put the fear into the eyes of their workers to try and discourage them from supporting this bill in California. Now, in response to Boxer's op-ed here, AOC blasted the former senator, tweeting this out. Former officials should not become corporate lobbyists in letter or spirit. It's an abuse of power and a stain on public service. I don't care if it's a Democrat doing it. Both parties do. In fact, that makes it worse. We're supposed to fight for working people, not against them. So this is a reminder that there are members of Congress, though rare, but there are members of Congress that are out there looking out for your best interests, regardless of party affiliation. Now, just to show you how this line is, or how the opposition to this bill, the conservative opposition to this bill is using Barbara Boxer here. This is a tweet from the California Senate Republicans. Dems are proposing a bill that will kill valuable Uber and Lyft jobs. Even former liberal Senator Barbara Boxer said this about AB 5, quote, switching to an employee model will mean far fewer opportunities to drive. Yeah, once again, complete BS. When labor groups are on one side of an issue and you have the GOP on another, maybe an indication as to who is actually looking out for your best interests. Barbara Boxer here is wrong. Now, on top of that, several 2020 candidates have weighed in on this. So first, of course, Bernie Sanders. He put out this op-ed in support of AB 5 months ago, saying, open forum, drivers for ride booking services deserve better pay and job protections. And then a few months later, Elizabeth Warren came out with this op-ed saying, to stop shameful exploitation of gig economy workers, let's start with this bill. And then a week later, even Kamala Harris supports this bill, saying, exclusive, Kamala Harris is backing a bill giving Uber, Lyft, and Postmates workers new rights. So first of all, this is the usual order of things. Bernie Sanders on labor issues, always out in front, always the first to this issue. Elizabeth Warren follows, and then Kamala Harris sometimes pretends she actually cares. So in the case here, if Kamala Harris had the power, I don't actually trust that she would do anything about it. But at the very least, this shows progression. This shows that the Democratic Party, while in the past completely ignored issues like this because a lot of these massive companies like an Uber or a Lyft were supporting their campaigns, but now they can read the room and they understand that it's worth speaking on issues and being in support of labor rights as opposed to doing what they usually do and being silent or supporting the corporations on these issues. So there is actual progression within the Democratic Party. We're seeing that now. And on top of that, you have, solid fighters like Bernie Sanders and, of course, AOC here showcasing where they stand on this issue.